Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 565 based on novel. So let's start. The change in the earth fire vein must have attracted some attention. It is not convenient to remain here. Wang Lin stood up and waved his sleeves. He cleared out all the restrictions left here. Wang Lin didn't want to leave any clue to the people chasing him, especially the fact that he was good at restrictions. In this strange continent, one extra layer of mystery was an extra layer of protection. The restrictions disappeared without a trace. Even if someone noticed, it would be difficult to see if they had been made by a person or treasure. As Wang Lin waved his sleeves, he burned the walls of the cave more than a feet so no traces remained. After doing all of this, Wang Lin walked out of the cave and stood in the sky. The sky was clear without any clouds, looking very beautiful. Breathing the aura of the immortal astral continent, Wang Lin quickly flew off into the distance. He was extremely fast and disappeared over the horizon as a ray of light. His speed was faster than before. At this moment, he moved at full speed and flew more than 100,000 kilometers in a flash. On the third day after Wang Lin left, rays of light arrived over this mountain range. One of these rays of light was the Blue Dragon sect's old ancestor, Duching. He gloomily looked at the mountain and then pressed his hand down on the mountain peak. The world rumbled as a giant wooden arm more than 1,000 feet thick appeared. It was covered in fire and smashed into the mountain. A thunderous rumble echoed as the mountain collapsed and countless fragments scattered. 3 days ago, the earth fire here changed. That cultivator named Wang was obviously hiding here. Despicable, I have used my full speed but was still late. Killing intent appeared in Duching's eyes and he waved his sleeve. Scatter from this place and continue to search. I don't believe he can escape from the heavenly bull continent. Duching took a deep breath and clenched his fist. If this person hides, it will be difficult to find him. Looks like I need to ask the Great Soul Sect for help. Wang Lin didn't want to avoid the other party. If he really wanted to hide, he could find a mountain far away and hide inside. After 8 to 10 years, there would be no problems left. The main reason he had left was because he had found something that could nourish his fire essence greatly. As Wang Lin flew across the sky, his divine sense spread out, covering the earth. His eyes shined brightly with excitement. This heavenly bull continent has many branches of the earth fire vein, at least thousands. If I absorb them all and even absorb the main earth fire vein, will I form an essence true body like back in the Dong Lin pool? Thinking about this made Wang Lin's breathing become short. He vaguely guessed that no one had ever absorbed the fire from the heavenly bull continent. They had all obtained the recognition of the fire to comprehend its essence and become third-step cultivators. If they reached a certain cultivation level and their essence was strong enough, they perhaps would become a king of fire. But in the end, it was very different from Wang Lin. Wang Lin was not someone from the immortal astral continent, and he didn't comprehend the fire here. He didn't obtain the recognition of the fire here, so there would naturally be rejection. It was like following the will of the heavens and defying the heavens. But it was also because of this that Wang Lin was about to devour an earth fire soul and increase his fire essence greatly. Xian Luo said that no person of the cave worlds has ever managed to walk out by force by themselves. I didn't reincarnate in the immortal astral continent, so I didn't grow up here. The immortal astral continent is not a dangerous place for me, but a treasure trove. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he moved forward to another mountain range. The mountain here was completely green with no trace of fire. However, with Wang Lin's fire essence, he looked down and sensed a giant fire dragon sleeping under the mountain. The moment Wang Lin's gaze landed on the fire dragon suddenly opened its eyes. Its eyes were a sea of fire that stared at Wang Lin through the flames. Roar! A roar echoed and the earth trembled. The mountain peak swayed like a powerful wind was blowing through the mountains. However, ordinary people couldn't hear it. Even cultivators would find it difficult to detect. Only someone with a different type of fire essence, like Wang Lin, could clearly hear this roar of extreme rejection. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he let out a cold snort. A mere soul of a vein dares to roar at me? What courage! Wang Lin stepped forward and landed on a mountain. He suddenly reached out below him with his right hand. Extract earth fire soul. When his right hand lifted up, the mountain rumbled and a sea of fire erupted from the earth below. The mountain below Wang Lin collapsed and gravel flew everywhere. The head of a fire dragon rushed out from the collapsed mountain. The moment it appeared, the blue sky turned scarlet red as if it was burning. Crackling sounds echoed from the earth as the earth tore open and lava flowed out. This fire dragon was a bit bigger than the one Wang Lin had devoured. The fire from it was equal to the full power of a spirit void cultivator. As it roared, the fire dragon's giant head closed in on Wang Lin and smashed toward him. It was like a flaming meteor from the sky that was heading straight for Wang Lin. This shocking momentum was enough to cause the expression of any cultivator to change. However, Wang Lin's expression was calm and didn't change at all. There was even coldness in his eyes. As the fire dragon rushed toward him, he raised his right hand and threw a punch at it. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the world. Wang Lin's body trembled slightly, but he didn't move half a step. However, the fire dragon let out a miserable roar as its head exploded. When the fire dragon collapsed, it turned into a sea of fire and showed signs of reforming. The dragon's eyes were the first to reform, and they gave off an angry gaze. However, Wang Lin didn't give the fire dragon a chance to reform. He stepped forward and fire shined in his left eye. A vermilion bird appeared in his eye and charged out toward the fire dragon. Soul of the earth fire, you still don't know your place. As the vermilion bird devoured, Wang Lin's powerful voice echoed in the world. The fire dragon's body trembled and its collapsed head was absorbed by the vermilion bird. As the absorption increased, the earth trembled and the world changed colors. The entire fire dragon turned into a sea of fire that was absorbed by the vermilion bird. After absorbing 2 earth fire souls, the body of the vermilion bird had expanded to hundreds of thousands of feet wide. It seemed to cover up the entire sky. The fire raged, causing the vermilion bird to let out a heaven-shattering cry. This cry turned into ripples that spread with the vermilion bird as the center. Wang Lin took a step forward and stood on the head of the vermilion bird. His body was covered in a sea of fire. The vermilion bird let out a cry and immediately charged forward. From a distance, it looked like a cloud of fire moving forward. Wang Lin could clearly feel his fire essence becoming stronger. This growth excited Wang Lin because back in the cave world, the fire essence had stopped changing. Wang Lin had thought that was the limit of his fire essence, that it had reached full completion. But he always felt like something was missing, though he wasn't able to find out what exactly. It wasn't until he encountered the Dong Lin pool inside the 5th flower that a door to a higher path opened for Wang Lin. It allowed him to know that his fire essence could form an essence true body. He could never forget the powerful feeling he had when an essence true body formed. The simplest change was that whenever he used a spell, it was not just 1, but 2 overlapping with each other, making it far stronger than before. This was not something Wang Lin had ever imagined possible. Right now, his fire essence had become stronger and grown closer to forming an essence true body. In this strange land filled with powerful cultivators, there was nothing more exciting than increasing his cultivation level. Wang Lin didn't hesitate to move forward while riding the giant vermilion bird. His divine scent spread out, looking for the next fire vein. 2 days after Wang Lin left, a ray of light closed in from the distance. The person inside the ray of light was the Blue Dragon sect's old ancestor, Duching. He arrived very fast this time, and when he landed, he was a bit shocked. He looked at the mountains below and his eyelids twitched. Something is wrong. If he causes the earth fire vein to change once or twice, it could be an accident, but this is the 3rd time. He is obviously doing this on purpose, but what is he doing it for? Duching frowned. He couldn't figure it out. He landed on a mountain and his divine sense spread out. He carefully looked at the ground and extended his search underground. This caused him to gasp, and his expression changed greatly. The earth fire vein withered and the earth fire dissipated. It is dead. He is absorbing the earth fire, which is impossible. Even if a cultivator has the fire essence, they wouldn't dare to forcibly absorb the earth fire. Once it's done, it is likely to cause a rejection in their body, and they would be attacked by the earth fire of the heavenly bull continent. How did he do it? What is he going to do? Qing's eyes were filled with horror. He had never heard of anyone who could absorb and devour the earth fire vein. The cultivators with fire essence had all offered sacrifices to the fire to obtain recognition. No one had ever dared to devour, or could devour. Duching looked up at the sky in the distance. He vaguely felt like the person he was chasing was a terrifying existence. His heart couldn't be helped but be overwhelmed by hesitation. He didn't know if he should continue his pursuit. After a long time, Duching clenched his teeth and there was coldness in his eyes. I'm not willing to give up now. No matter what, I must catch up and have a look. If all of this is just a false illusion of strength, then I'll kill him. If his cultivation level is good and equal to mine, then I need to change my perspective. The Blue Dragon sect is destroyed and it can't be changed. If he were to join the Blue Dragon sect, the influence of the sect would increase greatly. Duching was the old ancestor. Even though he was moody, his mind was not ordinary. After making up his mind, Duching reached at the void before him and a paper crane appeared before him. He threw it and it expanded into a smoke crane. It let out a cry and flew forward. Duching followed it into the distance. With this exotic treasure from the Great Soul sect, this person won't be able to escape for long. A thunderous rumble echoed across the earth of the heavenly bull continent, then a giant vermilion bird covered in fire rushed out. The world became distorted and the earth dried up, seeming ready to collapse. Wang Lin's white hair fluttered as he stood on the head of the vermilion bird, his eyes shining brightly. It had been half a month since he devoured the second earth fire soul. During this period, Wang Lin hadn't wasted any time, he had been rapidly moving forward. Every time he encountered an earth fire vein, he would absorb its soul. During this half a month, Wang Lin had devoured 9 earth fire veins. Combining with the 2 from before, there were now 11 earth fire dragon souls. His fire essence was far more powerful than back in the cave world, it had more than doubled its strength. This kind of shocking change seemed to have made Wang Lin's eyes turn red as he continued to devour like crazy. Wang Lin had long become aware of the fact that someone was chasing him. Even though he hadn't seen the person chasing him, he clearly knew who it was. This person had to be the old ancestor of the Blue Dragon sect, the Void Tribulent Duching. This matter was not difficult to analyze. To dare to pursue him and for this long meant that that person was confident in their strength. Among the people Wang Lin had provoked since he came to the immortal astral continent, only the Blue Dragon sect's old ancestor had the strength. From Kang Ran's memory, the old ancestor is at the early stage of Void Tribulent. But whether that is true or not is not something Kang Ren is qualified to know. He may have indeed gone through 9 arcane tribulents to reach the early stage of Void Tribulent, or he could still be in the arcane tribulent stage. Wang Lin would obviously not believe Duching's cultivation level from just Kang Ren's memory. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and the vermilion bird under him let out a shocking roar. The more earth fire veins it devoured, the faster the vermilion bird became. Although it couldn't compare to the Mosquito King, it was almost as fast as Wang Lin. The vermilion bird let out a roar and disappeared without a trace. Half a day later, a ray of light closed in and Duching appeared. He had chased for half a month, getting closer and closer to Wang Lin, but his mood was becoming more and more gloomy. During this half a month, he had seen 9 withered-up fire veins. That feeling of disbelief became stronger and stronger, and this shocked him greatly. Even his earliest thoughts began to shake. Another place? Damn it, how many will this person devour before he stops? How can I chase? How could I dare to keep chasing? Duching looked at the withered earth fire vein below and his scalp went numb. By the time I catch up, not only will I be no match for him, but I will get injured by him. Then my pursuit will become a big joke. Such a thought keeps surfacing in Duching's mind. He hesitated for a moment before he let out a roar at the sky. He was going to risk it. Until he saw the other party's exact cultivation level, he was unwilling to retreat like this. I have declared to the outside world that I'm at the early stage of Void Tribulant, but in truth, I'm only at my 7th Arcane Tribulant. Nevertheless, my firewood body has strength far beyond ordinary cultivators. My physical body is like that of the people from the ancient country. I don't believe I can't battle him. Even if his cultivation level is comparable to mine, his body can't be as powerful. Duching seemed to have found confidence in that roar. He charged even faster under the guidance of the smoke crane. After 7 days, the vermilion bird under Wang Lin had become even larger. It seemed to cover the sky as it flew. During the last 7 days, he had absorbed 3 Earth-Fire Dragon souls. The 14 Earth-Fire souls had caused the power of Wang Lin's fire to increase greatly. It was twice as powerful compared to back in the cave world. Behind him, Duching arrived at the withered fire vein Wang Lin was at before, and his face was pale. These days of pursuit were a type of torture he had never suffered before. This kind of torture was not affecting the body, but the mind. He had seen the withered earth fire veins one after another. This feeling was enough to make him go crazy. He would rather never pursue Wang Lin or damage his own cultivation while fighting Wang Lin than to continue suffering this torture. For days later, in another part of the Heavenly Bull continent, the roar of a dragon slowly dissipated. A giant vermilion bird charged out from underground. Half an hour later, Duching's figure appeared once more. He stared dumbfoundedly at the earth for a long time. 16. At this moment, Duching wondered if this mysterious person named Wang was a soul of the earth fire vein. 2 days later, in the northern part of the Heavenly Bull continent, where there were the most mountains. The mountain ranges were endless here, and there was no trace of vegetation. It was completely black, giving a depressing feeling. The ground was dry and cracked, and a hot aura seemed to exist and spread across the void. This place was very remote and few cultivators came here. Most of the time, this place was silent, but at this moment, a shocking roar came from the depths of these mountains. This roar was the roar of the fire dragon soul, and it was different from the ones Wang Lin had heard before. This roar shook the world and almost became corporeal. Not only could he hear it, but all living beings could hear it. This was no longer a soul roar, but a soul powerful enough to let out a real roar. After devouring so many earth veins, this was the first one Wang Lin could not devour, as it contained such a terrifying soul. A giant vermilion bird flew out from the mountain, and on the head of the vermilion bird, Wang Lin suddenly looked back. Behind him, the mountain trembled and hundreds of thousands of feet of mountain range collapsed. A fire dragon with a head that was 100,000 feet large with a body of unknown size charged up. This fire dragon was clearly a soul, but it looked like it was real. It was obvious that this branch was far stronger than an ordinary branch. This is a child branch and not a sub-branch. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He had carefully scanned the area before. When he saw how powerful the soul was, he was even more confident in his speculation. A main fire vein could have countless sub-branches. However, a child branch was very different. A long time ago, it might have been connected to the main vein, but it had separated and become an independent existence. A child vein was basically a child of the main vein. Aside from its strength, there was no difference between it and the main vein. I wonder how many child veins are in the Heavenly Bull continent. However, there obviously shouldn't be a lot. Devouring a child vein is the same as devouring a large amount of sub-veins. Since I have encountered it, there is no reason to let it go. The vermilion bird under Wang Lin let out a cry and turned around in the sky. It charged at the incoming Earth Fire Dragon Soul. The Earth Fire Dragon Soul was fierce and large amounts of fire spread out, covering the surrounding hundreds of thousands of feet of area in the sky. This included Wang Lin and his vermilion bird. The surroundings were sealed off by fire and the black smoke of the fire burned all breathable air. At the same time, even the space in the area began to distort, causing everything here to become blurry. Only the giant fire dragon closed in, its ferocious eyes revealing its tyrannical nature as it charged at Wang Lin's vermilion bird. Wang Lin let out a cold snort. Although this child vein was strong, equal to a mid-stage arcane void cultivator, it wasn't enough for Wang Lin to retreat. His right hand formed a seal and pointed at the fire dragon. 16 earth fire branch veins, appear in my name. The moment Wang Lin's words echoed, 16 fire dragons appeared around the vermilion bird and rushed at the incoming fire dragon. It was at this moment that a ray of light closed in from the distance. Duching had finally caught up. He spotted the cloud-like flame that was hundreds of feet wide. He heard the roar from the flame, and at that moment, his body trembled. Cracks appeared on his originally juvenile body and he turned into a purple wooden man. The moment he turned into a wooden man, fire spread out from his body and surrounded him, but it didn't damage the wood at all. Duching also had a fire essence. The reason the fire essence had appeared on its own was because that roar represented the fire of the Heavenly Bull sect. And Duching was a fire essence cultivator recognized by the Heavenly Bull continent. If it was an ordinary vein, it wouldn't have the power to affect Duching's fire essence. However, this child vein was no different than the main vein, so it could achieve such an effect. Duching's expression changed. His gaze landed on the cloud of flames in the distance. He could see the strange scene of 16 fire dragons and a vermilion bird devouring a fire dragon hidden inside the flames. There was also a person with white hair standing on the head of the vermilion bird. His white clothes were extremely conspicuous in the fire. Although Duching only saw the back, he had the illusion that he was looking at a mountain. That's him. Duching's eyes lit up. He is currently trying to devour the earth fire here. The earth fire here is not normal, so he can't devour it as easily. Right now is the best time to kill him. Duching revealed a decisive gaze. He charged into the fire without hesitation. Duching saw Wang Lin. Inside the fire, Wang Lin also felt Duching outside the fire. An aura that was infinitely close to void turbulent came from Duching's body. When his body became a wooden body, Wang Lin sensed this even more clearly. Wang Lin's expression remained calm. He had long known that Duching was chasing him, and being caught up to was expected. At this moment, he didn't panic or even pay any attention to Duching. The 16 fire dragons and the vermilion bird charged at the incoming fire dragon formed by the child earth fire vein. The two were not far apart. As the two sides closed in, they immediately collided. Even though Duching wanted to charge in, he was a step too slow. The 16 fire dragons were the first to come in contact with the child earth vein soul, and a thunderous rumble echoed across the earth. The moment the two collided, Wang Lin pointed down as he stood on the head of the vermilion bird. The 16 fire dragons roared and wrapped around the child earth fire vein like chains, tying it down. The soul of the vein let out a deafening roar. At the same time, the vermilion bird under Wang Lin charged out and overlapped with the child earth fire vein soul. It began its crazy devour and fusion. All of this happened in an instant. From Duching's perspective, everything had happened smoothly without any delay. The child earth fire vein soul's body twisted and it continued to roar. It was no longer fierce but revealed a painful expression. One could vaguely see the vermilion bird inside it and the white-haired Wang Lin standing between the horns on its head. Wang Lin raised his left hand and controlled the 16 chains formed by the fire dragons. It looked like he was holding the chains. This was a shocking scene, enough to shake the heart of any cultivator that saw it. Wang Lin was surrounded by fire as if he was the emperor of fire. Even the dragon below him seemed like it had to yield to become his mount. The dragon's roar was heaven-shaking. It was at this moment that Duching rushed through the sea of fire and closed in on Wang Lin. As Duching closed in, Wang Lin suddenly looked up. The fire dragon under Wang Lin had to raise its head as Wang Lin's left hand pulled the chains. It let out a violent roar that wanted to tear the world apart, and fire rippled in all directions. At the same time, an endless source of fire erupted from the 16 chains in Wang Lin's left hand and entered his body. The cry of a vermilion bird came from the fire dragon below Wang Lin. When the vermilion bird cried, a powerful surge of earth fire from the fire dragon below rushed into Wang Lin. At this moment, the power of fire he controlled was heaven-shattering. Wang Lin raised his right hand and waved it at the void before him. This wave contained his fire essence that had increased in power several-fold. The power of this fire essence was equal to the full power of all of Wang Lin's essences in the cave world. One essence was comparable to the 7 from before. The growth of his fire essence was what made Wang Lin very excited along the way. With this wave, the world rumbled and the sea of fire gathered around him. It fused with the fire essence inside his body and formed a giant handprint. This handprint had clear fingerprints. It was Wang Lin's right hand. This right hand was thousands of feet tall and burned everything in its path as it flew toward Duching. Duching's pupils shrank. His right hand formed a seal and a large distortion appeared around him. The distortion turned into a vortex and then a giant, wooden arm stretched out toward Wang Lin's handprint. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. When the handprint and the wooden arm collided, a thunderous rumble echoed and a terrifying shockwave scattered. Wang Lin's handprint collapsed, but the wooden arm formed by Duching's spell was surrounded by a sea of fire from the collapsed handprint and began burning. Duching let out a muffled groan. He retreated 3 steps and suddenly looked up. He saw Wang Lin unfazed, standing on the fire dragon. However, the fire dragon's body trembled and began to collapse on a large scale. It was as if its flesh and skin were being split open. This was because Wang Lin had transferred all of the force from Duching's attack onto the fire dragon. He had borrowed Duching's power to seriously injure the fire dragon he still could not devour. The fire dragon let out a miserable cry and retreated. Its body continued to collapse, and every time it collapsed, the vermilion bird inside its body became even more clear. Duching's expression changed and his eyes revealed a gloomy gaze. He had seen through the fact that this white-haired cultivator was borrowing his power to devour this earth fire. When he looked up, Wang Lin's cold gaze met with Duching's gaze for the first time. With this blow, Wang Lin had seen through Duching's cultivation. This person had not reached the void turbulent stage, he was still at the arcane turbulent stage. From the power of that attack, he was stronger than the sovereign but could not compare with the likes of the 7-colored Daoist or old Ghost Son. Wang Lin had seen through how strong Duching was, but Duching wasn't able to see through Wang Lin. Judging from the aura, this person is at most at the peak of spirit void and hasn't even reached arcane void. But such a cultivator could not have withstood my attack or devoured the earth fire. His body should have collapsed from my spell, but his expression didn't change at all. Also, he transferred most of the force into the dragon soul below him, so it's impossible to see through his true cultivation. But I don't believe he is only at the peak of spirit void. He must be hiding his cultivation level, otherwise, he wouldn't have escaped back in the Blue Dragon sect. The two looked at each other and began to speculate about the other. Duching was a cautious person, and everything he had encountered along the way made him hesitate. After seeing his attack repelled, his eyes shined as he stared at Wang Lin, and he didn't act recklessly. Who are you? Why did you destroy the Blue Dragon sect? If you don't give me an explanation, then you can stay here. There was a flash of coldness in Duching's eyes as he spoke. Your Blue Dragon sect disciple wanted to refine me into a puppet. I just destroyed your sect and didn't kill a single person. That was me being kind. The 16 fire dragons controlled by Wang Lin's left hand that were binding the large fire dragon trembled. The earth fire soul let out a roar as its body collapsed even more. The vermilion bird's shadow began to overlap with the dragon as the devour was about to complete. When Duching saw this, his body began to distort again and he was going to turn back into a wooden person. The roar from this child vein affected the fire essence in his body, causing it to become restless. What a joke. You killed thousands of my Blue Dragon sect disciples, and you say you didn't kill a person. Duching stared at Wang Lin and the fire dragon soul below him. He began to hesitate again. Wang Lin gave him a mysterious feeling, and everything he saw made Duching lose confidence. After hearing Duching's words, Wang Lin simply decided to not speak anymore. He stood on the fire dragon's body and continued to control his fire essence to devour this fire dragon soul. After a short period of calmness, the fire dragon soul let out an extremely poignant and anxious roar. Duching's fire appeared outside of his control and the coldness in his eyes became even stronger. If he continued to ignore the call of the fire, then his fire essence might start rejecting him. Give me an explanation. Duching no longer hesitated, he charged at Wang Lin. As he closed in, Wang Lin sneered and he pointed at the sky. The sky rumbled and the clouds churned, then a giant palm print appeared in the sky. It was the war spirit print. The moment this print appeared, the world changed colors, and it charged at Duching. The moment Duching saw the palm, his expression changed greatly. The world sect's grand handprint, or spirit print. You are someone from the world sect from the Soul Cloud continent. After hearing Duching's words, Wang Lin's heart skipped a beat. As the war spirit print descended, he formed another seal and pointed at the sky. 7-colored light instantly gathered before Wang Lin and shrouded the surrounding area. The 7-colored light rapidly gathered to form the 7-colored lance. The moment the lance appeared, Duching's pupils shrank and were filled with horror. He no longer charged forward but retreated several steps. The Wang Lin sect 7-colored spell, you. Are you someone from the world sect or a disciple of the Wang Lin sect? What do you think? After using 2 different spells, Wang Lin raised his right hand and millions of restrictions flew out from his hand into the sky. The world changed colors as a giant, ancient umbrella suddenly appeared before Duching's eyes. Duching's body trembled and he revealed a look of disbelief. He subconsciously retreated a few steps and looked at Wang Lin with extreme fear in his eyes. The strongest sect in the 72 continents personally appointed by the Celestial Emperor, the 3 Dao sect. Songyun Dao spell that is not passed down. Realm-burning umbrella, Duching's face turned deathly pale and his scalp went numb. He didn't think Wang Lin had learned these in secret. These spells looked extremely authentic and they were not things one could secretly learn. Who the hell are you? This video will end here.